Now that's Box Talk.
Alright, dude, it's me, Z, and welcome to another episode of Box Talkin with Z, the series where I read your comments from one of the videos I put out and get a discussion going. Today's episode, I'll be reading and responding to your comments from the video I made a few weeks ago about how I believe Xbox has lost the console war to PlayStation already. This was a very hotly debated topic to say the least, and people were very passionate on both sides, so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who left a comment. And before I go any further, I do just want to say, while I love and appreciate hearing all of your opinions, and I love to discuss them with you all even more, I am only interested in hearing opinions about the topics, not insults at the people making their opinions known. Feel free to use insults at people if you want, but it won't get a response from me, and your comment won't be featured in episodes of Box Talkin with Z. Again, I have no problem with differing opinions and heated debates, but insults just kind of bore me. So, to summarize my opinion from the previous video that you can watch right here, I said that I believed Xbox has lost the console war to PlayStation already because they lack any exclusive games, as all of their upcoming games can be played on the new Xbox Series X, PC, and Xbox One. I argued that this was the reason games like Halo Infinite looked average, and they were bottlenecking their new titles in order to get them playable on outdated hardware. But enough about me. Let's get right into it and read the top rated comment, which was from Creeper, who said, "Bro, the Xbox is kinda more powerful than the PS5, but I'm still getting the PS5. Edit. Also, the PS5 has amazing graphics. Second edit. PS5 has a lot of good specials. I'm really happy about the new Skate game and about Miles Morales Spider-Man game. I'm definitely getting a PS5. It actually looks very well. Can't wait to get a PS5. Although it's true that the Xbox is kinda better, but I'm still getting a PS5. And first, thanks for the comment." Now, what I think is interesting about this comment is that it points out the fact that yes, the new Xbox Series X is more powerful than the PS5, but ultimately it's the games that are on PS5 that are convincing people to get one. This point was echoed by others who agreed with me. Zozo says, "I'd honestly say that PS5 takes the win, since history doesn't lie. Specs mean nothing to me now. It doesn't matter who has bigger teraflops or whatever. Exclusives are king. Xbox can't compete in a million years. Halo Infinite isn't even gonna be groundbreaking system seller. It'll just be a flop like the rest. The spec difference is barely noticeable anymore to mean anything. More people will buy PS5. Sony always wins says, "Good video. Microsoft is very conflicted with their next gen system, so there is no reason to get the Series X because there are no next gen games for the system. Every game you can play on Game Pass on PC, which is what I do. I will be getting the PS5 launch." Milos Ivezik says, "I was Xbox fan for 7 years. Why? I don't know. And now it's time to switch." Nintendo Switch? PS5 has better games and graphics and less toxic community. I hope that PlayStation has less toxic community because I always run into toxic 10-year-olds on Xbox. And true that. I was once one of those toxic 10-year-olds. Anyway, Arkin Seth says, "True. It hurts, dude, but you are 110% right. Xbox has lost. Not enough ES and no wow factor in them." Finally, we got one from Darth Akers that says, "Was excited for Paper Mario and now I'm not. Was excited for Halo, now it's potentially games of service. Now I'm not. 2020 sucks." And thanks for all the comments, and I think that these comments are completely understandable. The fact that the Series X is powerful is amazing, and the fact that it's stronger than the PS5 is great too. But when it comes down to the exclusive games list on the PlayStation, it's just too high. Also, their commitment to their new hardware being necessary is good because it makes your purchase feel validated. I just don't see a reason to get the Xbox Series X at launch, especially since Halo Infinite won't be there, but that's a topic for another time. But there are plenty of other people who disagree with this, and that brings me to this section of the comments that thought the Xbox was doing the right thing and that PlayStation was on the rocks. Jarek69 says, "PlayStation lost when it was announced at specs were lower than Xbox's. The only thing Sony has shown gameplay-wise was Ratchet & Clank, and it couldn't even run at 60 FPS low." Chris Bentley says, "Xbox showed more exclusive games than PlayStation. Xbox games will be more optimized for Series X. Xbox One won't limit it. Xbox showcased more interesting games in my opinion. Ratchet & Clank and Returnal were the only interesting games Sony showed." Chad Rowan says, "Your listing of what you feel perceived weaknesses are only cements the fact that you have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to the Xbox line as a whole and the Series X. Do some more research." And I'm not exactly sure what research he means, but moving on. Joe Gotcha says, "Alright, so here's the deal. PlayStation is significantly weaker than the Xbox. Also, PlayStation has never won. You say, Xbox has no exclusive game. But guess who owns Windows? Microsoft. Guess who is making all of the money even if you don't buy an Xbox? Microsoft. Here's the thing. Xbox is thinking in the future and is basically making a monopoly. Let's not forget about xCloud. So there's 3 platforms. Microsoft has won. Let's repeat this. Windows is owned by Microsoft. Xbox is owned by Microsoft. And xCloud is owned by Microsoft. So Microsoft also has VR in their hand. So who won exactly? Sony? But they don't have shit, besides some exclusives. But Microsoft controls everything else. No one else is competing for VR. I mean, Apple doesn't focus on gaming, nor can perform gaming capabilities. So who is winning? And thanks for the comments. But Joe Gotcha points out something interesting in that Xbox is focused way more on a platform, not the hardware needed to play games. And I agree with that 100%. But the point of my video wasn't that Microsoft was winning the platform war, although that does sound like a good idea for a video in a future date, but that they are losing the console war. Console meaning hardware to Sony. And I think if people were looking at it objectively, they would agree with that. And this leads me to the final comment of the day from Goated Panda, who says, I'm getting both consoles. And the reason I included this was just to point out that both consoles have their pros and cons. And while one may be better at certain things than the other, ultimately, if you want the best experience possible, just get both. And if you can't afford both, then buy a Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo is still king forever, baby. Nintendo fanboy for life. So that's it, dude. Now I know I'm stoking the flames of the console war and getting you all fired up, getting all controversial. So tell me all about your love for your side in the comments below. Tell me how much of a fanboy you are in the comments below, and make sure you let me know which console you want to get. If you like this style of video, leave a like, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more of them. All right, dude, talk to you later.